I'm gonna give a couple disclaimers real quick before I even get into the message of this video, because it might be difficult for some people to grasp and for some people to understand, because like I said, it's a lot of folks who are not spiritually awake, who don't really know about the spiritual laws and principles. Like they don't know how this world is ran. Like really, folks are just waking up every day. They exist in the natural. All they know is waking up and getting on their phone, looking at social media. Maybe some folks might go to work, like just out, like doing what you do throughout your day. Just basically interacting with whatever you come into contact with throughout the day. You see what I'm saying? Folks don't really understand the authority figures and like how the power structure of this world really runs outside of what they do on a day-to-day, like, which is not like uncommon. But what that also means is that a lot of people are spiritually, and I say this like a lot too, like a lot of people are spiritually unconscious, like, or like walking dead. Basically, you have no concept of the spiritual laws and principles of how this world is governed. You see what I'm saying? Like this world is, everything is spiritual. We are not human beings who have souls and spirits. We're spiritual beings who are living out a human experience right now. So it's gonna be difficult for some people to grasp. If it's too deep, for you to understand, then like I don't know what to tell you. Like if you want to keep watching, feel free to keep watching. But if it get too deep for you, feel free to click off, man. Cause like I don't have time to, like, I'm still trying to figure out the best way to explain to unconscious people or to wake people up as to what's really going on in this world, right? So I can only do it to the best of how I know how to do it. And if what I'm saying ain't good enough for you to understand, then I don't know what to tell you. But a lot of people say, or a lot of people are curious about whether the Illuminati is a conspiracy, or like if it's real, if it's fake, like whatever the case may be. And I've said it, like a lot of folks, well, it's real first of all, and what it has to deal with is spirituality. Like it's the power structure of how this world is run. This is God's kingdom, and throughout his kingdom, the enemy roams. But there are also a lot of godly people and light workers out here as well. But a lot of folks be curious about whether Illuminati is real, or if it's something that's made up. Is it fake? Like, is it a conspiracy theory and all of this junk? Let me say this, that it is real, and a lot of people, it goes all the way basically to the top of the power structure of this world. I won't say to the top, because God is at the top. Nothing is above God. God runs this world. This is his kingdom. But basically the next rung down, which is, and I'm gonna play this video for y'all too, with Kanye West, where he's basically describing the hierarchy or the power structure of how this world is really set up. Now, I don't agree with what a lot of what Kanye West says. I'm praying for my brother. I don't know what he might be going through, whatever the case may be, with all of this anti-Semitism, all this Hitler support, and like dressing up like the KKK and all this extra junk he got going on. I don't know nothing about all of that. But in this video that I'm getting ready to play for y'all, when he's speaking about the structure of how this, how this world is set up, that's legit. That's legit. And I'm gonna play that video, and then I'm gonna get back to what I was saying.
Let me tell you something. This is the way the world works, period. God runs the world. Then under that, you got 1,000-year-old families, Medici. Under that, you have the Vatican, the Pope. Under that, you have the financial groups that control all your shit. BlackRock, Vanguard. After that, you have Putin. You have Trump. You have all this shit. And after that, you got what all this shit is entertainment. Hollywood. Take that, run that back, run it in schools. I'm going to give y'all one last thing before I go.
So, okay, so y'all just saw that video, and basically what he was saying is that you have God. Okay, so I'm gonna describe the hierarchy of how this world is set up. All right, you have God first and foremost. This is God's kingdom. Ain't nobody above God. He run this. You got God. You got the royal families, which he said in the video, like the Medici family. You got the British royal family. You got Swedish royal family, Saudi royal family. You got all of these royal families. And then after that, you got the Pope. And you got the Vatican. And you got other religious institutions. And then after that, you got banks. You got financial institutions, investment groups, capitalism, things like that. And then after that, you have global politicians, you got oligarchs, dictators, wealthy businessmen, women, and the people who basically own all the industries and the companies in the world. Like you got the Trumps, the Elon Musks, the Mark Zuckerbergs, Jeff Bezos, people like this. And then after that, you have Hollywood, which is basically like the entertainment, music, movies, social media, the companies, basically, the companies that the people own after that. Right? And so you will notice that before, like I left a space right there before you get to the royal families. And once I'm elevated to my position within the power structure, it will be God, and then it will be me right there above the royal families. All right? So I'm just making sure y'all tracking. Making sure y'all tracking with me. All right? And one thing about Hollywood is I said, like, when you get on your spiritual awakening journey, like the devil can tempt you into selling your soul, and that's how you get into a position to where you don't own your destiny, where you basically are subject to whoever it is that's above you, within like the Illuminati or the power structure of like the spiritual aspects of this world. And basically it all comes down to influence. It comes down to the influence over the world, basically. Which direction that the world is going to be influenced in. And for so long, like for hundreds of years, basically the Illuminati and bear with me too, y'all. Like I said, I'm speaking from my understanding of how it is from where I am right now today. But everything that I'm saying is facts. All right, so follow me. So the Illuminati has basically been having control over the influence of the world. So what does that look like? Got all these companies. A record label ain't nothing but another company that has investors, that has executives who it's their job to fall in line with whatever the objective of the company is. And those objectives are set by the investors, by the executives, by the people who run the companies, right? And all of them work together with the politicians and everything. It's just a whole big ass corrupt system right now. And like I said, God is appointing me to take back territory. And so that's what it is. But all of these industries, it's not just with the music industry, it's within Hollywood, like the entertainment industry. Um, um, any company that you can think of, bro. Like, have investors, they have executives who have objectives to push a narrative or to have some sort of influence over the world, okay? Hopefully this is making sense. Like I said, y'all, I'm just trying to describe this to the best of my knowledge of like how I understand it today. And so a lot of like athletes, actors, musicians, like you don't even necessarily have to have like knowledge of the Illuminati in order to be a part of the system. Like all you have to do, and like they used to say this all the time, and probably still so, like if you sign a contract like with a label, or like you sign like your image rights or whatever way for a record deal or any type of contract that you might like sign to serve a purpose, then they used to say that you signing your soul away, basically, because the executive and the label and whoever it is that you sign to, they own the direction of your career. They own your destiny. They tell you, oh, you can put this out or you can't put that out, or like, and basically that's a part of their control over the influence of this world. Like the artists that they sign are under their label and they're under their control. You get what I'm saying? Or you could just have a regular job. You could just have a regular 9 to 5, like in a high position at a company or in any position. But your job within that company is to meet that company's objectives. And those objectives are the objectives of the executives, the investors, and the people who run the boards of those companies, the hierarchy of like the Illuminati. So it's low level people all like scattered all throughout all of the companies who just have regular jobs, but their jobs are to meet the objectives of these companies. And this is like how at the end of the day, it comes down to being spiritual. Ultimately, it all comes down to being spiritual and like who's working with who to control the influence, to hold on to control throughout this world, or whatever the case may be, man. It's a lot of folks. Like it's a whole network. The Illuminati is a network. It's a global network. All right, and they've been, like I said, they've been having control over the influence of the world for centuries. And like, it sounds crazy. But literally, I'm the first person to ever hold this position. Like, I'm the first person that God is ever appointing to wake people up. Probably because I'm the first person who ever came with an opportunity in a company of my own with the potential to be a global leading company. I'm the first person or minority or person of color to come forward with an opportunity or a business that could potentially be a world leading business. They wanted me under their system, basically. Because I ride by myself. Like, nobody brought me in. Nobody brought me to the door. I got myself here, right? So it wasn't nobody's system to bring me, or I didn't come in under anybody's system. So folks, like, that's what these past couple years been about. Like, folks have been trying to tempt me and basically coerce me, or whatever you want to call it, to come under their umbrella, to come under their system so that they can control me. But I've been seeking the kingdom of God. I haven't been trying to chase after the world or trying to get involved with other people's systems and structures of influence. I've been chasing after God, and God is getting ready to put me in position above all of it, because they've been trying to like keep control and keep control of the influence over this world. I guess to hush me, like if I came up under somebody's system, I wouldn't be able to be vocal and speak about like God running this world and the spiritual like laws and principles of how this world works, and like the corruption that has been controlling the influence of the world. Like, it's good people out here too, but for whatever reason, like the corrupt folks, like this is before my time, hundreds of years ago, they've been in control. But at some point, like they gained control and they've been like controlling the influence of the world for a very long time now. And they wanted to shut me down because I have so much potential and my company has so much potential to be a global leading company. And I guess they wasn't ready for that. So they tried to coerce me to come into their system, to come under their system so that they could tell me I could do this or I can't do that, or basically control my destiny. You get what I'm saying? So hopefully that made sense, man. But that's what it boils down to. That power structure from God down through the royals, through the religion, through capitalist financial institutions, to the people who run those companies, the billionaires and the oligarchs, politicians, down to the actual companies, whether it be record companies, whether it be movie producing companies, whether it be social media companies. That's how it's set up, man. That's the hierarchy, or that's the power structure. And so I'm gonna do my best to try to break it down and explain as far like to the best of my understanding as my understanding is today, based on these past couple years that I've been on my own spiritual awakening journey, as far as what that means with the Illuminati having the influence right now over this world. And they've been had it for centuries, for hundreds and hundreds of years. Like, these people have been controlling the influence and what people know and like how people think, what people don't know, as far as how this world works. But like I said, God is appointing me and elevating me to a position to wake people up as to, okay, so we've been asleep, y'all. Like, it's time to wake up and see how this world actually runs. It's time to take back territory, take back power from these royal families, from these corrupt, like certain corrupt religious teachers. I'm not saying that all of them are corrupt, but it's a lot of corrupt prophets, false prophets, and false teachers out here who work for the enemy, who work for the other side. A lot of titans of these industries, these people, these investors who are on the board, the CEOs of these companies, the companies themselves, like, because the companies, like the CEOs, the investors, the boards of these companies have their own agendas, their own objectives that they seek to meet within the world through these companies. So God is appointing me to shed light on all of this and to take back territory and to reestablish his will throughout this world, throughout this kingdom, throughout his kingdom. You got record executives and people that are in these industries who are a part of the structure of controlling the influence. And like, all of it is a power structure. It's a power structure. You got record executives, they work for record labels, and record labels have investors who have a means to an end, basically, or objectives that they want to accomplish through their company, that record label. You have social media companies who have owners, who have investors, who have objectives that they want to accomplish through those companies. And you got all of these different company owners who and investors who own these companies, and through each one of these companies they all have objectives that they seek to fulfill, basically, through these companies that they own. And all of it, like, these are global countries, these are companies all over the world, like, um and then within these companies you have, like I said, executives, like power players and artists. Like, all of these people are in this system, basically, and the artists can't tell the record executives what to do. The record executives tells the artists what to do. The investors tell the record executives what to do. You see what I'm saying? Like, basically, like, when you have a job, that's your job in the system, or whatever the case may be. So if you're in the Illuminati and uh uh and you play your role, basically, you play your role, and whatever the person above you whatever the person above you tells you to, like, they give you the play. They give you the play. Listen, this is what we're trying to accomplish in the world. This is your job. Make it happen. And so they will sign artists um that are talented, but also an artist that meets the objective of what the label is, like, trying to promote. You get what I'm saying? So if folks are trying to promote violence and, like, drill culture and murder and all of this junk, like, then those are the types of artists that they will sign and put out. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's all about influencing. How are we trying to influence the world, basically? If some folks are trying to even let me see. Hold on, bro. I'm going to, you know what? This is why I'm getting sidetracked, because I'm going too deep into, like, I wasn't even trying to go this far into it. But let me get back on track. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, like, bear with me, because I'm still learning myself. But one thing about it is that, same way a lot of folks, like, it's a lot of people that don't, like, really, they can't appreciate the fact that I speak about the fluid community and that I keep it 100, and, like, I call it how I see it, or I call it like it is. Like, it's a lot of folks, like, in Illuminati and these other, like, organizations that can't really appreciate that I'm calling it like I see it, and, like, that's just me. That's just, like, who I am. That's who I've always been. Like, I'm gonna speak on what I know and speak on what I see and just call it like it is. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, you got a lot of folks who do appreciate me and who do love the fact that I speak up when it comes to the fluid community, and you got folks that love it, the fact that I speak up and that I speak out about, like, what's going on with the systems in the Illuminati and stuff like that. Like, but whether you believe me or not, like, it has to do, I mean, that's up to you. You feel me? Like, and I see, like, I see why a lot of people, in addition to, a lot of people can't really talk about it, because, like, they in it, so they can't really speak up on it. But other than that, a lot of folks can't really speak up on it because a lot of people are not even ready to really comprehend what goes on. Like, a lot of folks ain't ready to believe it. You see what I'm saying? And you look crazy. Like, you will look crazy trying to, like, I'm putting myself out there. This is my purpose. This is what God, like, is choosing me to sound crazy and say all this stuff until, like, it's gonna sound crazy until, like, God show up and and place me in position and deliver my promise that puts me into the position that he has for me. Like I said, um, it's gonna sound crazy until everything start rolling out and y'all folks start seeing for themselves. Like, oh damn, bro, like he was dead for real. But yeah, that's one way. Like, other than the like going through the spiritual awakening and being tempted out of your position, you can also like sign a deal. That's all it takes. Like, if you sign under a record executive or a record company or a recording company or whatever who is in the system, then you are a part of that company. Basically, they tell you, they approve what you put out, what you don't put out. They basically control you and what you get to put out, which is all going to fall under the influence of the objectives that they are trying to reach, or the record label is trying to reach, or the investors. And it goes all the way up the line like that. And I want to read this scripture, Matthew chapter 4, and this is basically about Jesus getting tested in the wilderness. And this is basically, to give you a translation of what it's saying, is basically like, so Jesus was tempted in the wilderness by the devil, and this was the devil attempting to get Jesus to sell his soul, basically. And I'm gonna read from verse 1 to 11. All right, so it says, then Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. After fasting 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. The tempter came to him and said, if you are the Son of God, tell these stones to become bread. Jesus answered, it is written. So it's going to be a back and forth. Like, the devil is trying to get Jesus to do certain things, and Jesus is telling him, like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not going. And that's basically how the devil gets you. Like, throughout this spiritual awakening process that I've been on for these past few years, that's basically where I've been. I've been in the wilderness, getting tempted by the devil, trying to get me to sell my soul. And I've been chasing after God and chasing after God's kingdom, seeking his face. You get what I'm saying? So that's how I wasn't able to get tricked out of my position. That's how God is getting ready to place me and deliver my promise and put me in that position that I just showed y'all. All right? So it's a back and forth. It says, so the tempter came to Jesus and said, if you are the Son of God, tell these stones to become bread. Jesus answered, it is written, man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God. Then the devil took him to the holy city and had him stand on the highest point of the temple. If you are the Son of God, he said, throw yourself down, for it is written, he will command his angels concerning you, and they will lift you up in their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. Jesus answered him, it is also written, do not put the Lord your God to the test. Again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their splendor. All this I will give you, he said, if you bow down and worship me. Jesus said to him, away from me, Satan, for it is written, worship the Lord your God and serve him only. Then the devil left him, and angels came and attended him. So that was the equivalent of Jesus being on a spiritual awakening journey, of Jesus being led into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil and withstanding all of the attempts. And it's been folks trying to tempt me over these past few years to get me to join their different systems and their different squads. Folks from all of those hierarchies that I just told y'all about, from the royal families to the financial institutions to Hollywood to politicians, like folks from all of these different sectors, like different people, not the whole sector, but different people, like sent on assignment to trick me out of my seat, to trick me out of my promise from God. You get what I'm saying? And I've been staying focused. I've been seeking his kingdom, not selling my soul. So this is how I'm getting ready to step into my promise, into the position that God has for me. But that's how this world is structured, man. That's how it's set up. That's all a part of the spiritual awakening process, man. If you ever end up on your spiritual awakening journey, and that's another thing, when they say like you breaking off generational curses, like curses that have been in your bloodline from generation to generation to generation. It's like if you are the first person in your bloodline to be born and basically say, you know what, I don't want to settle for a 9 to 5 and retire. Like I want to live. Like I want to have a company. Like I want to like be a world mover, a world shifter. Like I want to like have some status and do some things, like have some influence in this world. Like I'm trying to get some status out here. And you come up with it like a dream, or you figure out your purpose, or whatever the case may be. And this is another thing I want to say. I'll be going all over the place, man. Bear with me. But you have to find yourself before you can find your purpose. Life ain't fun, bro, or trying to chase after any job or just any skill or any talent if it's not really coming from who you are, like what your soul is, who you are on the inside. You get what I'm saying? If you're not passionate about whatever you're doing, then it's just gonna be like a job. That's why folks say, like, if you find what you love to do, then you will never work a day in your life. So it's one thing to be good at something and to have a skill, like you a talented athlete or investor or artist or actor. It's one thing to be good at something. It's a whole nother thing to have found your purpose in whatever it is that you're doing. I actually wrote 2 books. One of them is basically describing how to come up with ideas to create your own company. Basically, the process of coming up with ideas to create your own startup and to create your own company. And a lot of what I describe in that book comes from knowing yourself and just being attentive to different problems and things that you come across in your day-to-day life that you recognize there may be or there's not a solution for it, that you can end up creating the solution for that thing. But in order for you to come across genuine problems to find solutions for, you have to be walking through this world and experiencing this world as yourself. You get what I'm saying? Find yourself, and then you will find your purpose. That like it comes down, like at the end of the day, whether that just be like a talent or a skill, or whether it be like you creating your own company. Whatever it looks like for you is what it's gonna look like. You get what I'm saying? But it all stems from finding your purpose. And then I got another book called Lord, What's Going On, which is actually speaking about my actual spiritual awakening experience. And those will be published soon, by the way. But yeah, it's all a part of the spiritual awakening journey, man. Jesus went through it. I'm going through it right now, and it's a rite of passage. You got to break off generational curses. You got to show the Lord that you're going to chase after his kingdom and not after this world and all of those power structures that's going to try to get you to join the Illuminati. Or get you to join. But I want to say, like, I don't know. That's like, so I'm not fully, like, I don't want to, okay, let me say it like this. I don't want to jump out here and just say that the entire Illuminati is bad or full of bad people, because I really don't know the dynamics of how that system is structured or set up. But it's what I can say is that it is real, and that there are people in it who try to take you down that road to where they have control over you, basically. I don't know whether as far as my understanding goes, it's the Illuminati versus the kingdom of heaven. All right, you have heavenly influencers out here. You have heavenly business owners. You have good versus evil, basically, is what it boils down to. And again, as I learn more about how the structures and how that's set up, once I reach my next level of downloads and being able to receive this information, then I can speak to that with more clarity. But as it stands right now, I'm just trying to put y'all up on game from the information that I have available to me right now. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, so you're gonna end up on this spiritual awakening journey and breaking off generational curses. And this is also why throughout your spiritual awakening journey, you will end up outgrowing a lot of people. You will end up having to leave some people behind, because when it comes to family, friends, things like that, because a lot of people, like I said, are spiritually unconscious. A lot of people are not awake and aware of how this world works, the spiritual laws and principles. And a lot of people are not ready. They may not be ready to hear, or they may not be ready to accept. I mean, but that's on you. At the end of the day, really, it just depends on which side you decide to go after. If you decide to go after the world, or if you decide to go after God. If you decide to go after God, now understand, freedom only comes. If you decide to go after God, understand that freedom only comes through Jesus Christ. If you go that other way, then your destiny is going to belong to somebody else. But if you go after the way of God, then you are going to have to change some things. You're going to have to let go of the sin and let go of the ways of the world and seek God's kingdom. And letting those things go, the people, family, friends, people you've known, or people who influence you towards the world, are going to eventually fall off, because they're not going to understand. They're not going to get it that you're on this spiritual awakening. When you're on this journey, you have access to God. That's why Jesus died, for our sins, in order for us to. I begin this do be getting kind of deep, man. I apologize if it's difficult to understand. I'm just trying to wake y'all up and give y'all the game that God gave me. All right, and it took me years to get it. You see what I'm saying? I've been on this spiritual awakening for some years, and it's not an easy task that I have, that my purpose is to wake people up, because this stuff is difficult to describe, and you sound crazy. You sound crazy as hell trying to describe this stuff. But again, I'm in my right mind, man. I'm just trying to put y'all on game as to how the power structure of this world works. You know what I'm saying? The law, it's all spiritual. The spiritual laws and principles of how this world works. We are not human beings with souls and spirits. We are spiritual beings living out a human experience. And God runs this world. You see what I'm saying? And it's my role to, like I said, be elevated to that position above the royals, and to take back territory, and to wake his children up. To wake his children up from all of the the tricks and the schemes, but you can't stay small. You cannot stay small and think the same way and still be able to elevate to the mindset that God needs you to have in order to elevate you into the position that he needs for you to play, or like for the role, for your purpose. Basically, he can't elevate you to, he can't trust you enough to elevate you to an effective position or an impactful position in his kingdom and give you a purpose if you still thinking small, like if you still thinking like folks that's unconscious, basically. So you will outgrow, like folks don't like when you outgrow the box that they try to keep you in. When you start outgrowing that box, folks gonna fall off, and you just gotta be ready for that. Because those people are not the generational curse breakers of their bloodlines or of your family, if they happen to be your family, and you are. So the responsibility is on you. It's up to you. Let me see. I might have to do this video again. I ain't sure. I just feel like it was kind of all over the place. Hopefully it made sense, but if not, then I might have to do this thing again, boy. But I'm gonna find out in editing, man, what happened with it. So, man, y'all be safe today. Stay out the way. Take everything one step at a time, one day at a time. Focus on finding yourself and finding your purpose. I love you, King V. H&R.